Olivia and this is my brother Jake.
Hi.
And this is all about animals. The Port River in Adelaide's western suburbs is home to a diverse range of activities and wildlife. Huge industrial ships exist alongside delicate aquatic flora and fauna. I set off from the Garden River boat ramp with Dr. Mike Bosley to find out a bit more about the dolphins that cruise the river. This is so exciting. I'm here in Dr. Mike's boat looking out for dolphins. It's like the best day ever. Hi, Dr. Mike.
Hi, Olivia.
You've been doing this research for a long time. What made you so interested in dolphins?
Well, the thing about dolphins that I'm really interested in is that they've got a very large brain. They've got a brain as big as yours or mine, and it's just as complicated. So I really find it fascinating to wonder what they're thinking about and how they think about the world.
What type of dolphins do we have here in Australia?
There are quite a few different species of dolphins in Australia, but the ones we've got here in the Port River in Adelaide are bottlenose dolphins.
How many dolphins are in the Port River and how old are they?
On an average day, there's probably about 30 dolphins around here. And they range from really little babies through to quite older ones. The oldest one I know about is about 35 years old, but there could be older ones.
Wow, that's old. Are dolphins fish?
No, dolphins are mammals, just like you and me. They've got to breathe, come to the surface to breathe, or they'll drown, just like you or me. And when fish swim, if you watch them, fish swim like that with their tails, but dolphins have got a totally different way. They swim that way. So they're quite, although they look a bit fishy, they're actually quite different to fish.
What does their skin feel like?
It's really slippery and smooth, very streamlined.
Do dolphins have hair?
When their babies are first born for a couple of weeks, they've just got a few whiskers on the end of their nose. And it's probably just left over from during evolution when they were animals that had lots of hair, because dolphins are descended from animals that used to live on land, and they were all hairy then, like dogs.
Wow, did you see that? Humans need goggles to see underwater. Can dolphins see out of the water as well as they can underwater?
Pretty much, yeah. They can see surprisingly well out of water, actually. So they're very lucky to be able to do both.
What do they eat?
Mostly they eat fish, but sometimes they eat squid and cuttlefish as well. They don't eat any vegetable matter at all. They're totally carnivorous.
How do they find their food?
They use their eyes to find the food, but also they've got this sense called sonar, which is they put out sounds from their forehead, which go out and bounce off the fish and then come back again. And they receive the sounds on the end of their chin, and that goes up into their brain, and that's like getting a picture of a fish, just like X-ray vision in a way.
Why do they come to the Port River?
I think it's mainly because it's a protected area and it's a bit shallow, so there's probably no, or very rarely, sharks in here. And so it's a safe place for them. Unfortunately, they can't detect the pollution in the water, the toxins, so it's probably not as safe as they think it is.
We saw a pelican following a dolphin. Why was that?
Well, the dolphins with their sonar can find the fish underwater very easily, even if it's pretty murky. And so the pelicans follow the dolphins around, and that's where the fish are. So they're actually using the dolphins to find fish for them.
Dr. Mike, you've got the best job in the world.
I agree. I've got a fantastic job.
Thanks, Dr. Mike, for taking us out to see the Port River dolphins.
You're welcome, Olivia. Thanks for coming along, and good luck.
Children can help stop dolphins becoming extinct by picking up their rubbish, making sure they don't let anything get into the waterways, and talking about dolphin conservation with their families and friends. To find out more, go to www.wdcs.org.
Coming up later in the show, Olivia visits Forex Equestrian Centre to find out more about horses.
But first, Jade meets Pud, a puppy with a difference.
So we got this dog called Pud.
Yeah, this is Pud. Pud came to us as a stray about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, he's a little bit cute and cuddly.
So is he up for adoption?
Not at this stage. Unfortunately, during one of our assessment processes on Pud, we discovered that Pud was deaf. Yeah, so he's not ready for adoption just yet.
Alright, so how do you sort of communicate with a deaf dog?
So this is a new project for us.
Yep.
We've had a couple of deaf dogs that have come to us, but not at this early stage of life, so they've already come to us with training and all that sort of thing.
Okay.
So we are putting him into our rehabilitation program that we've started that gives dogs like this a good chance at being adopted, which will involve teaching him sign language.
Okay.
And other behaviour training methods as well, so that we can successfully rehome him in the future.
So what kind of commands are you going to teach him?
To start with, we need to make sure that he's listening to us at all times, so it's making him communicate with our hands, so he's going to have to watch our hands and our faces all the time, because we won't be able to recall him with our voice, so he's going to always have to be concentrating on us. So we'll start there, and then we can start with our sit commands, which is closed hand and raising it up like this, and then he should be able to sit from there. Okay. And then from them we can start doing our recalls by putting our hands in the air, things like that. So yeah.
Okay.
We start small, but we should have him doing all the normal stuff like normal dogs.
So how long will it take for Pud's ready for adoption?
We foresee that this could be a couple of months worth of work, so I wouldn't want to put him in a home until I knew for sure that he was going to be a happy and safe dog for a family with children, things like that. So I'm estimating probably 6 months.
6 months?
Of which one of our staff members will foster him to make sure the training continues on at home as well.
So what kind of breed is he?
He is a healer.
Yep.
We normally say healer cross because we don't have the papers to say that he is a genuine purebred healer, so he'll be advertised in our adoption program as a healer cross.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you estimate the age of the dog?
Well, we have 2 vets on site, and it's their job to work that out, and they do it by looking at the teeth. And you can pretty much estimate right down to a couple of days of how old the dogs are by looking at their teeth. So he's a proper baby, and they're estimating about 3 months of age.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if I want to work at the RSPCA when I leave school, what do I have to do?
Okay, well, you're on the right track. You have a passion for animals, which is always a good start. We'd recommend that you get involved in some volunteering. So as soon as you turn 18, come and volunteer with us. But in the meantime, you can do animal courses, you can volunteer for other organisations, wildlife organisations, all the sort of things to give you experience with animals, always assist you. But yeah, going on to further study is pretty essential as well.
Cool. So what kind of study would I need to do?
So there are a lot of courses out there that are either done through TAFE or university. There's the vet nursing courses, we've got the animal husbandry, diploma of animal husbandry. Anything to do with animals will assist you with your employment with the RSPCA. So.
Okay.
I'm here at Forex Equestrian Centre at Little Hampton in the Adelaide Hills. Look at the paddocks in the open space. It's so beautiful and relaxing here. Children and adults come here to learn how to ride horses. Also, lots of kids have great birthday parties here. I did, and it was great fun. I love horses, so I thought it'd be cool to chat to an expert to learn more about them. This is my friend Claire. Hi Claire.
Hi.
You're so lucky to work here every day with the horses and farm animals. As you know, I love horses and always want to learn more about them. How many horses do you have here?
We have a lot. We have 51 horses and ponies in total.
Wow, that's so many horses. It must take a long time to look after them all. Do you have any helpers?
We do. My family and myself are the ones that mainly feed them and look after them, but we have leaders for parties, for the pony rides, and we also have volunteers, which are students of ours, that help us get ready for lessons, so they groom and tack up and get the ponies ready.
What do you have to do to make sure your horses are healthy and happy?
They should have good quality pasture, fresh, clean drinking water. They should have shelter from heat and cold, and they should be checked twice a day to make sure they've got no injuries and they're in good condition.
A healthy horse should have salmon pink membranes under their eyelids, their gums should be pink, their eyes clear and bright, and their nose dry. Claire, who is this gorgeous pony?
This is Sassy. This is one of our many ponies, and she's a Palomino, which is her colour, and her breed is a Welsh mountain pony.
Well, she looks very healthy, doesn't she?
She does.
What kind of food do you feed her?
Well, at the moment, Sassy's only on pasture, which is grass. Later on, once the grass dries down a bit and there's not enough nutrition, then she'll be fed oat and hay.
I've always been curious about whether you can read a horse's body language like you can with other animals. I thought that when a horse has its ears slightly back, that it means that they're listening to the noise behind them.
It does mean that. If their ears are lying flat back against their head though, then it usually means they're angry. If they're pointing forward, it can mean they're alert or concentrating on something. And if they're droopy and out to the sides, it usually means they're relaxed or having a bit of a snooze.
That's cool. It's like being a horse whisperer. How can you tell if a horse is about to kick so you can get out of the way?
Well, usually their ears will be lying flat back. Sometimes they'll bare their teeth, and their muzzle will become wrinkled and tight, which is their nose area, and then they'll be lashing their tail constantly as well, and sometimes they can stamp their feet, and that's a warning.
Well, that's good to know, because I think getting kicked by a horse would really hurt. Claire said if I tack up Sassy, I can take her for a ride. How lucky am I? Don't forget to ask your parents if you can do horse riding here at Four Oaks too. All set. This is my dog Socks. Today's trick is crawling. First you need some treats. Then you make your dog sit down. Socks is already sitting down, so then you reward him. Next you get your dog to lie down. Lie down and reward him. Then you drag the treat along the ground and say crow. Crow, Socks, crow. Crow, 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 and reward him. And that's how you get your dog to crawl on the ground.
Do chimpanzees have a pecking order? Stay tuned to find out.
This is Cooper and Lola from the RSPCA. Hi Lola.
Hi Olivia, how are you?
Good. Can you tell us Cooper's story?
Well, Cooper came to the RSPCA last year around September. He was found with 7 of his brothers and sisters in a cardboard box at Elizabeth Shopping Centre, and some member of the public had found them and brought them into us, and they were absolutely covered with mange.
Mange is a skin disease found in many mammals, including dogs. It is caused by tiny mites that can't be seen with the naked eye, which burrow beneath the skin. It can be very dramatic, looking like dry skin, or be scaly or spread across the whole body, which is very painful. If you come across a dog with mange, tell an adult and get it to the vet as soon as you can.
So Cooper was in poor health when he came to us, and we got our vet to have a look at them all. They ended up staying with us for a couple of months. Because of the mange, it takes quite some time to heal. And Cooper's just had his last skin scrapings, and they've all become nice and healthy now and got the clear. So they've all been desexed and microchipped, and they're ready up for adoption now.
What breed is Cooper?
Cooper's a bit of a mixed breed. We think he's a Staffy cross, could be a bit of Mastiff in there. It's very hard to tell sometimes when they're cross breeds, but he's definitely got like the Staffy face.
What process did they go through when they're found?
We have a vet at the RSPCA, so when they're actually brought in to us, given the condition that Cooper was in, our vets look at all the puppies and had a good look at Cooper. They had a skin scraping, so that's how we, that's, as you can see, the little patches here, he's had his last skin scraping, so that's how we can test to see that they have got the mites underneath the skin. And they do have to be isolated.
What does isolated mean?
Isolation means that we keep the dogs away from all the other animals. And we have two special isolation rooms, one for dogs and one for cats.
Has Cooper been adopted?
He has someone that's interested in adopting him, and he will definitely have a home to go to. And all his other brothers and sisters will be up soon on our website for adoption. So hopefully they'll all find nice homes to go to.
Sometimes the RSPCA needs help, so they call the fire service. Ziggy the kitten was stuck in a wall and rescuers just couldn't help her, so the fire service came to help. They rescued Ziggy, and after being checked by a vet, she was fostered until she reached 1 kilogram in weight. Then she was adopted into a loving family. Have you ever wondered what's behind the scenes at zoos and wildlife parks? Zoos SA has given me special permission to visit the chimpanzee enclosure at Monado Zoo. I might even be able to help the keepers set things up for the day. The enclosure at Monado is one of the largest open-air exhibits in the world. When I arrived, I met Laura, who let me help set up the chimps' outdoor area. We put fruit, frozen treats and other food out for them. We even left them a magazine or two. How long have the chimps been here for?
About 2 years ago it started, but we've only had our whole group of 8 for about 3 months, which is super exciting for us.
Chimps are a lot like people in some ways. They each have a unique personality. Some are gentle, some rough, some quiet, and some loud. They also have what's called a hierarchy, which means one of the group is the leader and the others follow. Just like people, they get along better with some than others. Do they have favourite keepers?
Yep, so the chimps do like some keepers more than others. We all spend lots of time with them and try and, I guess, make friends with all of them. But they certainly sometimes play more with one keeper than another.
What is that chimp over there doing?
Zuala's just worked out that if she pulls that chain up on that ice block, then she'll be able to sit nice and comfy on her platform and get into that ice block. She's going to dig at it and try and get out the whole pieces of fruit, and then she might come back later and suck on the bits of ice and stuff like that.
When the chimps first get together, they're really loud. This behaviour is quite normal and is called displaying. Where do chimpanzees sleep?
So our chimps, we actually bring them in at the end of the day. They can't be outside in this area, but they've got their big playroom. We have some dens and we also have some enclosed outside yards as well.
Keepers work with the chimps on communication. A lot of this is based on rewards, where the chimps learn something and are rewarded with food. Some of them even know where their eyes and ears are. Will there be baby chimps in the future?
We really hope to breed chimps out here in the future, and it'd be really nice to see little babies out in this exhibit.
How do you become a keeper?
I actually started off in school. I did work experience out at Adelaide Zoo and I really loved it and just thought that's the job I would like to have. So I did a TAFE course, came out here and just fell in love and thought I could work nowhere else and be happy. So I organised to come back and just do a few volunteer days, and from there I got a job as a casual, and now I've been here for just over 9 years, and for the last 2 years I've been working with the chimps.
Chimps are endangered in the wild, and if we're not careful, there will be none left in the future. Their homes are being destroyed by companies mining precious metal from beneath their habitats for use in mobile phones.
So at Zoos SA we have these mobile phone recycling bags. It's free postage, it's really easy to do. You just put your old phones in there, send them off and they can reuse that metal.
To find out more, go to the Zoos SA website at www.zoossa.com.au. Keep watching, because later in the show, Jake shares some viewer pets with us. Hi, I'm about to meet Amber Petty in the park with her dog. I can't wait to find out what breed it is. Radio personality Amber Petty leads a busy life of work and travel, but she took time out to introduce me to the most important part of her life, a little white ball of fluff called Marley. So what type of dog is he?
He's a Maltese Shih Tzu. Yeah.
And what's his name?
Marley.
Oh,
I got it from the movie. Although he's not as big as the Marley in the movie.
No.
No, he's littler.
Where'd you get him from?
I actually got him from a pet shop. I was walking through a shopping mall and he was in the window and I fell in love with him and I went, and I knew he had to be mine. I literally fell in love with him. So I wasn't necessarily planning on buying from a pet shop, but he was the one.
So cute.
He is cute, isn't he?
He does love his ball, doesn't he?
He does love his ball. Every day we come down here to this park, Victoria Park, or sometimes we go to Henley Beach.
Where do you put Marley when you go travelling?
Well, when I go travelling, I have one of my best friends comes over and she looks after my house, so she looks after him, which is really good. And then usually if I'm not going to be home for a long period of time, then I drop him off at doggy daycare. So yeah, it's really good.
How old is Marley?
He's, I think according to my calculations, 19 months old. So he's not strictly a puppy, but I still call him my baby.
Yeah, well, he's very cute.
Yeah, he's very small.
Does Marley do any funny tricks?
He does lots of funny little strange things. One that he was doing yesterday was, I have a big brown bean bag and he kind of gets in the middle of that and starts to pretend that they're having a big fight. And it looks pretty funny because he doesn't look like he's winning because he's very small. I think he's winning in his head though.
Here's some dog food from Advance for Marley.
Thank you so much. This is his favourite.
Well, he must love it then.
He does. We'll share it between us. I'll split it.
I am here with Simon Richards, Chief Inspector from RSPCA. Hi, Simon.
Hi, Olivia.
What does the RSPCA Rescue Centre have to do?
They go out whenever people phone up and tell us about animals that have been injured or left behind in people's houses. We go out and rescue them and bring them back to work.
How many animals does the RSPCA rescue each year?
Last year we got about 5,000 calls for rescues for all different sorts of animals, from wildlife to sheep, cattle, cats and dogs, all sorts of different things.